A lot of you guys do projects like this, and so you're like, okay, yeah, we get all that, we know all that. But some of you don't, and I try to put out content that meets everybody. Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today we are back on the Stitches Challenge, and we're doing something very important. While it may seem very mundane, sometimes you got to kind of take stock of where you're at, what you have, and what you need to do to be able to move further forward. Father, stick around. I'm Mike, and you're watching My Car Shop. For those who aren't familiar with the project, this is a 70 Challenger that came out of a junkyard pile with a crushed roof from having a car stacked on top of it. It was rotted from the firewall to the rear bumper. The frame rails were shot. The floor pans were shot. We hand fabricated most of it, the frame rails, the floor pans, pretty much everything but the trunk floor, which was donated by a channel viewer. We've got the roof banged back out. We've got 1/4 panel on. We got another one to put on. We're close to getting this car off the rotisserie. So my mind has been going on, all right, what do we need to do to get this car to be a rolling chassis? And then what do we need to do even further to get this car running and driving? So I've been going through everything I have here. And this is something in a project that I think is important once in a while, is to just go back and take stock of what you have and what you're missing for a project. So let's kind of recap. We have a 72, somewhere between 70 and 72, 440 for this car. We have a 4-speed transmission. We have the clutch pedals. We have all the shifter, the linkage. We have a B-body pistol grip that we're going to use in this just to infuriate the purists. We have an 8 3/4 rear end with a 323 posi over there to put in a chally, something else that'll tick off the purists, which I do on purpose. We've got a 323 shoe grip over there. We have not yet determined whether we're going to put a B-body housing in this or if we're going to put an E-body housing. The difference is the B-body is a little bit narrower, will allow us possibly to fit a little bigger tire. We're going to use the same exact tires and rims that are on the 69 Charger on here because this is its sister car. It's going to be triple black, big block 4-speed, just like the 69. But at some point, hopefully soon, we'll be bringing the Charger out, pulling the tires off, and fitting things up under here to see what rear end is going to work best. Other things that I've been digging around and finding are like the alternator brackets for big block. I have those. We have the motor mounts for the big block. I have those. We have a brand new set of shifter rods over there. Bell housing is something we're lacking. We don't have a bell housing for this car. So I do have a Lakewood. We may use that. I would prefer not to. I really would prefer to use a factory bell housing. I have a half a dozen small blocks. I don't have a big block. We do have the original leaf springs out of this car, which I'm probably going to use, but we also have a set of super stock springs we could use. I'm leaning towards using the factory ones because they'll probably ride a little bit smoother, and this is not a race car. I don't intend to thrash, smash, or hit this car like I do some of the other ones. This one's just going to be a gently used driver that you burp the throttle once in a while and have some fun. I don't intend on doing 5 grand hole shots, dumping the clutch and slamming gears, and that's not the intent of this car. We have plenty of other cars to do that with. I did dig around, and I'm pretty sure I found the Z-bar and the correct ends for this car, for the stick, for the clutch mechanism. We have the clutch pedals, like I said. Some things we're lacking. We don't have the grill for a 70 yet. We don't have the RT hood yet. I'm still kind of hoping to find a trashed dash pad to be able to put in. I bought a dash pad cap. It's hanging on the wall back there. For this car, that's going to be fine. If I have to make my own structure for it to put it on, I will, but I'm just really hoping to find a $50 or cheaper old crappy core dash to throw in this car, or free, to throw in this car and just stick that dash cap over, because we've got pretty much everything for the dash. Interior-wise, I think we have everything that we need except for a back seat. We've looked at some options on how to modify the back seat. That may happen, that may not. We don't know. Maybe we'll find an E-body back seat somewhere. We'll see. We could always make something from scratch. I'm actually kind of leaning towards that. We've done a fair bit of upholstery here on the channel. It might be fun to show you how you too can make your own rear seat for a car like this if you don't have one. We have the K-frame. We have the transmission crossmember. We built that. We have all the front suspension stuff. I still have a couple sets of A-body disc brakes that I'm going to use on here. They work just fine. That's what we did on the Charger. There's a few tricks to make those work. I don't see any point in going any different than that. They work phenomenal on a car like this, and it's a common thing to do. There's some specific things we'll get into when we get to that. We may throw this back together again temporarily with the front drums on it just so it rolls. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're missing. We have the steering column. We have the steering box. I don't know if I mentioned I'm missing the power steering pump and I have a pump, I'm sure. I don't have the power steering brackets that I'm aware of for the big block. Doesn't mean I don't have them. I have another big block coming that has brackets on it. I'll need those brackets on that project, but I can take them off, mill some stuff up on the mill, and I've even thought about just milling up aluminum brackets just for the fun of it. We have intakes, we have carburetors. Yeah, so I think all of that stuff, we're in pretty good shape. We have the front valance. Potentially have a front bumper lined up if I can figure out how to get it shipped here without breaking the bank. I don't have front bumper brackets. So while I do have a front bumper lined up, it's set aside for me. It's just in California. And so the shipping is, we're figuring that out, how to get it shipped here where it isn't going to cost $10 million. Some of these things I had from other projects, but we have the filler neck. I have a brand new gas tank that we got for this, but I don't have the sending unit yet. I'll need to pick one of those up for it. I'm probably not going to make one for it. That's not that I couldn't do it. That used to be my job back when I was an engineer in the auto industry. But I think in the interest of being interesting and moving the project forward when we get to the point, we will just simply pick up probably something from Jegs or somebody. I'm not really concerned too much about it being terribly accurate as long as it works as far as its gauge goes. All that kind of stuff. So we have glass for the car, except for the driver's door. The driver's door glass was broken, so we will need to get a glass for the driver's door. We may or may not reuse the back glass. The windshield was pretty bad. Not sure on that. We'll make a decision on that. We'll see where the finances are at that time. Starters, alternators, all that stuff, excuse me, I consider to be pretty inconsequential. One thing I'm not sure that I have, as I think about it, I'm not sure that I have a tall deck, raised block, I should say, sorry, distributor. I know I have a bunch for the B engine. I don't know if I have any for the RB, but that'll be pretty simple to find one of those. But for the most part, we have the big pieces to put this together, make it run, and make it drive. Clutch, pressure plate, I have some upstairs. I've got to look and see what's good. Flywheels, I've got a stack of flywheels. Not quite that tall, but close. I just got to sort through and find the one that matches the specific balance for the full 40 that I have. That should be, I think it's a cast crank motor, so it's probably external balanced. I got to look that up. I don't remember. We have the drive shaft. We found that a while ago, if you remember. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape overall, but I keep thinking of little things that I'm lacking to take this car further forward. So what are the showstoppers right now? What are the things that are kind of holding me back from being able to really thrust forward on the project and get it off of the rotisserie and get it rolling around again? The biggest stumbling block right now is energy and motivation. I was just in the house talking to Becky, and I asked her please to seriously look around and see if she happens to come across my motivation, because I lost it. I haven't lost motivation on the project. I've lost motivation on everything. I just don't. This weekend, I haven't felt like doing anything. Doesn't mean I haven't. I've done a lot of stuff. I worked on the pickup. I worked on scoops. I worked on a bunch of other projects around here. I spent a big part of today just kind of getting the shop organized. But that'll come back in time. But the biggest thing is revenue, to be able to do things like purchase the liver skin. Yeah, lizard skin. I don't need a liver skin. Lizard skin for the bottom. I'm going to write to them this week, see if they're interested in donating some product to the channel for an honest review. If I can't make that happen soon, I will have to reach a decision on going a different direction. We may just blow bed liner on the bottom and call it good. But we need about $250, $300 probably for the lizard skin. I really wanted to try that product, but sometimes you just have to say, all right, uncle, I had a couple opportunities lined up that I thought it was going to be able to happen, and those things have fallen through. And being with my employment situation it is right now, it's just the way it is. I'm not whining, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is the reality that every one of us face as we're doing projects. Is we have a dream, we have a goal, but then reality hits, and we have to make hard decisions in order to whether or not we're going to just put the project on hold or if we're going to move forward. My goal is always to move forward, even if I have to make some compromises. There is still a ton of fabrication that needs to be done. We've got windshield framework to do, rear window framework to do. We've got to get this cowl out and get the repairs done down underneath. But none of that has to be done when it's on the rotisserie. So the goal is, yes, I'm thinking bigger picture of what needs to happen in the long run to get this car running, because the more I think that stuff through, the less I'll be going, oh crap, I didn't think about that. Oh crap, I didn't think about this. And then keeping the perspective that the goal is to get done what has to be done while it's on the rotisserie, so that we can get it off of the rotisserie, get the rotisserie packed up and put away for a while, free up some space here in the shop, and have the excitement and the new motivation of a new chapter in the Stitches Challenger project. I mean, just to get it back on the ground and rolling around again is just pretty awesome. As we've explained before, we will not be putting the quarter panel on this side until it's off of the rotisserie, because this quarter is part of the structural integrity of the car, and I don't like it hanging on the ends, by the bumper brackets, basically, and the potential of taking this quarter off and having it go bloop. I would rather not do that. I know people do it. I get it. I prefer not to. Just a personal preference. And, we may need to decide, are we going to split it here, and call it good and waste a lot of that quarter? Or are we going to go ahead and seam it up here like we did the other side? I don't know. There's probably work that needs to be done up in here. It's common on these cars that there will be rot up in the roof in this area, but none of that needs to be done while it's on the rotisserie. So, yeah. So what needs to happen to get it off the rotisserie? We have two big long pieces that need to be welded to finish the very front of the trunk floor, and the where the floor pans went into the bottom inside. There's some work that needs to be done underneath. That's what I was going to be doing today, but we're going to be going away here in a while, and my policy is I won't weld if I'm leaving. I insist that I'm around the shop for 2 or 3 hours. But I was putting things away, I was finding stuff, and I thought, I need to start gathering all of these little bits up and determining what for sure. Like I found this bracket here, and I realized, no, that's not for a big block. But I took these over to the Charger, those alternator brackets. I had checked these against the 440s to make sure they're the right mounts, checked them against the K-frame, which I knew they were. So just starting a little pile of, probably back here, of parts that are going to be needed in the future. And once I get my parts bin situation straightened out and get things moved upstairs, we will dedicate a bin to all of the parts that go on the Challenger. So coming soon, we will be getting those bits welded up under here. Then we need to get the rear shock cross member. It's ready, it's sitting back here, but I need to get those two parts of the floor done first. Once that's done, we will determine what gets sprayed on the bottom of this car, and it will be no looking back from that point forward. A lot of you guys do projects like this, and so you're like, okay, yeah, we get all that, we know all that. But some of you don't, and I try to put out content that meets everybody at different points in the journey, from experts, whatever that is, down to people who've never done this stuff before but show an interest. But even if you've done, like me, like you've done this stuff for 40 years, and it all kinds of comes to you as second nature, it's still, I think, beneficial to see somebody else's thought process, and because to me, and I do this with other YouTube channels, I go, oh, you know what, I hadn't thought about that. I didn't think about thinking about it that way, or I didn't see it that way, or, oh yeah, that's a good point. I kind of forgot about that process because I haven't been at this point in a project for a few years or whatever. So I think it's beneficial to share those processes not just to share what I do, but also to share what goes on up here in the cabeza. So when we go back over here to our goals on our list to get it off of the rotisserie, the trunk floor, it's done. We just got to finish, so I can't quite cross that one off yet. The wheel wells, we have, I think, just one more to do. The driver's side rear wheel well needs to be done up. Lizard skin, as we mentioned. I wasn't still not sure about this bed liner thing. It's going to depend on this lizard skin, whether I'm going to do bed liner inside or lizard skin. We'll see where that goes. Shock cross member, front frame fender wells. We haven't done anything to get those cleaned up yet. We did clean up the passenger side fender wells inside, so that's done. And then getting the suspension back under the car. So these are the things that need to be accomplished to get it off of the rotisserie. So here's the fun part. Here's where you guys get to say, hey, dummy, you forgot this. Hey, dummy, you forgot that. Tell me what I forgot, because the brain doesn't work like it used to at all. And there's been a lot of stress and a lot of challenges, and life is just interesting right now. So if I forgot something, let me know, and we'll add it to our list of lists. All right, I appreciate you being here. As always, fenders are going to be coming off of this car again real soon. Yeah, we're going to be welding up back there soon. And I know I keep saying that, but this is the reality of life. But we have challenges in our daily driver situation, which we did a talk about Tuesday a while ago. Hopefully those situations are behind us and we're moving forward in that part of life as well. All right, catch you on the next one. Thanks for being here. Oh yeah, get your merchandise. For those who've asked, thank you for asking. 3, 4, and 5X shirts, yes, those are now available. So if you don't see them in the site there, let me know, and I'll let Cindy know. But I'm pretty sure, I just heard from her today, and she said she was getting that taken care of. The only thing about the bigger sizes is it will take just a little bit longer because they don't keep them in stock. They would order them in to make them. So really appreciate everything Schultz Sign Company does for us. Thank you guys for buying the merchandise. We have channel memberships. There's a lot of behind the scenes content that's put out behind the scenes. Yeah. And other stuff that channel members get that nobody else ever sees. So starting at $5 a month and up, you can help support the channel. Every little bit of cash that comes in helps not only the shop, but it helps me personally as well. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one. And don't forget, because it's important.